This paper plate string art is an easy do-it-yourself craft for kids. It features the famous paper plate and some yarn. We're going to cut a hole in the center of the plate in a shape. It can be any shape that you want. I'm going to draw it on the back. So it could be a heart or a star or a butterfly or holiday pattern like a Christmas tree. I'm going to draw a fish. Then I'm going to cut that out. You may need to help your younger kids with this part. This is a wax covered plate. They're a little bit heavier. They're like cardstock paper. And there's our shape. Next, we're going to take our hole punch and we're going to punch holes around the outside edge of this, and that's where we're going to string our yarn. So we're going to go ahead and punch every half inch or so. I'm going to string some yarn in my needle, and then we're going to go between these holes to do our string art. I love using a yarn needle because the eye in the needle is so large and it's easy to get string or yarn through. I just bend my yarn in half and then pull it through there. We're going to cut a piece of yarn that's fairly long so that we can go back and forth between these holes. One of the hardest parts is just not getting the yarn tangled for kids. So I'm going to put my string through the hole and tape it to the back of the plate. Then I'm just going to start going back and forth through the holes in any pattern that I'd like. Back and forth. And this is where the good eye-hand coordination comes in, to get the needle through the hole and go down through one hole and up through another. And just encourage the kids to keep going through different holes so that makes a crisscross pattern on the fish. I'm using a light green thread to start with, and I'm going to change colors in a bit when I run out of yarn. Suppose you could even add beads to this if you wanted to. I hadn't thought about that till right now. That would be kind of cool. And when you get to where your thread is doubling over like this, you want just a single piece of thread. So then I move my needle down so that the crossover is a little less. When my yarn gets too short, I'll get to the back of my plate, turn it over, and then I'm going to tape this to the back of the plate again. And I'll cut off the extra end. And now I'm going to get another color. I think I'm going to use blue this time. Okay, now we'll start our second yarn and go back and forth. There's plenty of room to go through the holes. Anywhere they see a place that's not covered very well, then they want to put a string across that area. And that's getting covered pretty well. And see, my thread's getting doubled over. So then I'm going to pull my needle so that the second thread is shorter. Sometimes kids will accidentally pull the yarn out of the needle. Just remind them that that is not a big deal. You can re-thread the needle. Almost every hole has had the string at least twice, and my string is getting short. So I'm going to go across, and I think that I can get over one more time. How about right up to here? Then I'll take my string to the back, tape it. You can continue to add more yarn if you'd like, or this could be enough if you'd like as well. Depends on the children's or your attention span. Just for fun on this fish, I'm going to poke some holes around here and just do some dark blue down here to kind of represent water. First, we'll tape this on the back. Now this pattern is going to be round and round, so you always are coming up. And then I always move to the next hole. I probably didn't need this longer yarn. And this is a nice secondary pattern for the kids to learn. The first one was just a random pattern, but this one, you go each hole. So this is a sequence for them to practice. Always up, pull, tighten, and then go to the next hole. Oops, I've got a little knot in my string. Whenever I get something like that, I just gently, I don't pull on it real hard, I just gently see if I can get it to loosen up. Most of the time that will work, but if you pull hard at it, it'll tighten the knot. I did go ahead and go all the way around, and that makes it kind of look like water. So I had my idea of making a butterfly, and I'm going to use the pink and yellow and perhaps add a third color if I need more variety in the wings. So I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to try leaving a body in the center of the butterfly and making its wings out. I'm not worrying too much if they are exactly even, but I've just made like the top part of a heart on each side. If you look at that, it's kind of like the top part of a heart here and the top part of a heart here. But let's go ahead and cut this out and see how it works. Oh, I like that. That looks good. So I'm starting to punch the holes around the butterfly. Now I'm going to do some holes down the center of the butterfly so that I can put the string in between here and go either direction on the wings. And we're going to go back and forth, and this should be really pretty with the color coming both directions. And again, don't pull too hard on this center section because that would tear more easily. So pull it gently, tighten it up, but don't pull it too tight. If you rip a hole, you could just tape it and then hole punch it again, and that would work. Tape it on both sides of the plate to strengthen it up, no worries. All right, I've gone back and forth on the holes several times on this side. I think I'll go one more time across here and back, and then I'm going to go to the other side of the wing and do the same thing over there. And so at this point I'm almost done with my pink string, and I have about the same amount of pink on each side. I've got my yellow thread on my needle and it's taped off. It's coming up, and we'll add some yellow now to our butterfly. And I have to tell you, it's very relaxing. So even big people will like this one, and it's good eye-hand coordination for us too. Ready for one more color thread? Let's go for it. I'm going to put some on both sides. What do you think of that? I'm liking this. And that's the end of my thread. So I'll tape it in place. And I think we're done with our butterfly. So I'm going to try doing a little marker fun here. Just doing a little bit of flowers around the edge. Make a little vine maybe. I went ahead and drew antenna and a body for the butterfly and added a message. I thought this looked so bright and cheerful. It would be a fun gift to give. This paper plate string art is an easy do-it-yourself craft for kids. For more great craft ideas, come on over to welcometananas.com and join the fun.